Hi everyone, Kim here at Olive City Homestead. I am in Zone 9B, Northern California, and this is my permaculture homestead. Obviously, I'm inside today. It's a bit chilly out there and gray, so I thought, well, it probably works better anyway to shoot this seed haul video here in my room. So I've never done a seed haul video before. I don't know why, but I'm going to today. Now, I did not order as many seeds this year as I usually do. In fact, I ordered far, far less. And the reasons for that are, well, one, I'm cutting back on the amount of annual veggies that I'm growing. For one thing, well, I don't have as many people here at home that I am supplying with veggies anymore, so I don't need to grow as many. And it seems kind of foolish to waste the effort, the time, the space, all that goes into growing annual veggies if we're not going to consume them. Now, that would be different if I was taking them to a farmer's market and selling them, but I'm not doing that. So I'm cutting back to what we're going to use, both the amounts and the stuff that we really like. I also am determined to cut back on growing things because they look cool or everyone else is growing them. If I know I don't eat them, if I know no one in the house likes them, if I know I can't eat them because I have some IBS issues, then I'm not going to grow them anymore unless I have a really good reason that I can't think of right now. So what am I doing instead? Well, I am continuing to expand my perennial, both fruits and veggies. Yes, there are a lot of perennial veggies when you start really looking into it. And yeah, that's what I am doing. So this spring, I have only ordered from a few select places. Two of them I've never ordered from before. And I'm going to share that with you now. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to share with you some of my seed catalogs, a few of which I think you might not have heard of before. So let's go take a look at these seeds. So first up, before I get into the stuff that just arrived in the mail this week, I wanted to go over these two kinds of seeds that I picked up in December when I went on a nursery road trip. I did a little video about that, and I tried to give away some of these seeds because I found these on sale. That is what the little red dot means. And these are from Botanical Interests. I found borage, which, oh, what a wonderful herb that is to grow. I was also super excited to find red roselle hibiscus at the nursery. This from Renee's garden, also on clearance. So of course I use this, like so many people do, to make wonderful, healthy, delicious tea. But I discovered it also makes the most amazing jam. And I did a video on that if you want to check it out. I'll link both those videos in the description below. Now, as I said, I tried to give away some of these seeds for free just before Christmas, and I managed to find two takers. Renee over at RB the Garden Nanny definitely wanted to give borage and red roselle hibiscus a try, and Raylina, I sent her some too. However, the other people who watched the video either already had these seeds or thought they wouldn't grow where they were. So as you can see, I still have some extra. Now, if you reply to this video by Sunday, the 12th, I will be happy to send you out a package of each if you would like. However, after the 12th, I'm going to be planting all of these myself because, well, first of all, you can't get enough borage. What an outstanding pollinator attractor to your garden, not to mention those leaves which make the most healthy, delicious cucumber-like tea if you grab them early enough, and the way that they build the soil full of nitrogen. They are just a wonderful addition to your garden. And then, of course, red roselle hibiscus. Oh my gosh, why would you not grow that? Such a wonderful tea. And now, jam. Plus, I read that you can make candied roselle. Now, that is definitely something I'm going to be trying, which is why I'm growing so much of this stuff and saving my own seeds from now on. Moving on, I found at the nursery that day some cherry rose jewel nasturtiums, also on clearance, and some Fiesta Blend nasturtiums on clearance. These both by Botanical Interests. Now, I have had absolutely no luck with nasturtiums, and I don't know why. They're supposed to grow very well around here in this Zone 9B, and they're supposed to self-seed and be perennial in that way. But yeah, I have not had luck, so I am trying again. I'm gonna figure it out. And from Renee's garden, I found this beautiful
nasturtium, hummingbird, vanilla berry. Isn't that pretty? Definitely going to be hoping that these work out this year. Now, I found a couple other flowers there. I have had great luck with alyssum around here, and it is perennial in the sense that it constantly reseeds all over the place, but I've never grown this variety, this color. Isn't that pretty? Rosie O'Day and spider flower, fountain blend. Last year was the first year I grew spider flowers. I bought a little start at the nursery, I believe. Actually, I can't remember if I started it by seed or by start, but whichever it was, it did really well. In fact, I think it's coming back again this spring. I think I see some signs of life on it. So I thought, well, I'm going to start a bunch of these, all different colors, because it grew really big and really seemed to thrive here. I had it on my table outside under the umbrella where it would get afternoon shade. It seemed to like that in this heat.
Now, I did find a few vegetables there that day when I was at the nursery in December, and I picked them up too because, well, they're not new to me. They're old favorites, though, and I thought, you know what? Especially with squash, I have grown so many over the last few years that I am getting a lot of hybrids now, and I thought I want some pure seeds going forward. So what did I pick up that day as far as vegetables go?
One of my two absolute favorite squashes, Honeyboat delicatas. These, if you haven't tried a delicata before, these are so buttery, deliciously sweet and good. Yeah, they're a little bit better to me even than butternut, which used to be my favorite winter squash by far. And so this year I'm going to be growing just 3 squashes, I think, other than zucchini. Of course, you have to always grow zucchini. I'm going to be growing the delicata, the honeyboats, and I'm going to be growing butternut, and I'm going to be growing kabocha, which I tried last year for the first time and really, really loved. Also found there purple tomatillos. Now, I have been growing purple tomatillos for a few years now, but it all started when I cut up a single tomatilla that I had bought at the grocery store and put it in some soil, and it grew several tomatilla plants that year. And then the next spring, oh, lo and behold, I had volunteer plants, 2 or 3 of them actually, and that's been the case now for 4 years. This last year, one came up. One single plant gave me, oh my goodness, hundreds of purple tomatillas. Now, I don't really like the flavor of these to use, say, fresh in a salad. However, last fall I discovered green tomato salsa. Yeah, it was October, November, even into December. I was harvesting hundreds of green cherry tomatoes, as you do when you live in a warm climate. Those tomatoes just keep producing, but as the sun lessens, well, they don't often ripen, and before I never really knew what to do with them. Well, I discovered green tomato salsa, and it's so good, especially when I added in purple tomatillas. Not only does it add a real, well, punch to the flavor, but it looks beautiful too. In fact, I called it rainbow salsa. Hey guys, I do want to apologize for the noise that has been going in the background. I just realized I had my dehydrator going. I don't even notice that white noise, but I realized suddenly you probably do. So I turned it off for the remainder of the video. Sorry again about that. Now, up first, we've got Baker Creek. Now, just take a look at this gorgeous envelope. Is that not lovely? It's really a work of art. You could like frame it. Chinese pink celery. If I liked celery, I would definitely get that, but I don't. So what do I have in this envelope though? Just look at this. They come in these little sleeves. That's nice. So they're not just loose in the package. Smile, you've got seeds. Hey, I like that. So right off the bat, you can tell one of the main things I ordered. Yep, peppers. Like I said, I am so into salsa now, and I realize how wonderful it is to have a wide variety of flavors of peppers. This is the manganji. I'm guessing at the pronunciation. And what kind of pepper is this? 80 days, recognized as a traditional cultural vegetable in Kyoto, Japan. It is loved and celebrated. Complex sweet flavor, often with a bit of heat. Soft skin make this Japanese heirloom a favorite. Next up, we've got the Aji Crystal pepper. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? And this one says 90 days from start to finish. Citrusy, hot flavor, 4-inch pepper transforms from green to yellow, finally pale red. Heat intensifying as the fruit reaches maturity, about 30,000 Scoville heat units. Wow. Sounds good to me. Next, rainforest chili pepper. Isn't that gorgeous? Again, 90 days to harvest. A habanero with extraordinary color and fruity flavor. 2 to 3 feet tall plants bear unusual 1.5-inch fruit that turns peach when ripe. 15,000 to 30,000 Scoville heat units, just a bit less hot than a habanero. So I'm not much for heat. A little heat's okay, but I'm not really after that. I'm after variety, color, interesting. Look at these leaves, the jigsaw pepper. Those are such gorgeous leaves. So this one, let's see. Leaves are multicolored and tie-dye patterns. Yes, we saw that. Lavender cream, violet, seafoam, and forest green. Short, stocky plants produce small, plum-colored fruit, about as spicy as a jalapeno, and great in containers. I might try some of those in containers instead of in the ground, or maybe a little bit of both. Then I've got this violet sparkle pepper. Look at that. I've never seen such a thing. Sent from a Russian seed trader. Pointed, wedge-shaped fruit, purple streaked with pale yellow, ripening to red, sweet and crisp. You know, I've had several people ask me about when peppers are ripe. Often they do the pictures like this one before they're technically ripe. But the thing is, you can actually harvest them at any stage of ripeness. So they'll just have a different flavor profile at this stage than they will once they've fully ripened and turned, what was it? Let's see. They turn pale yellow and then ripen to red. Yeah, so at the purple, yellow, and red stage, they'll have all different flavor profiles, and you should try them all because who knows which one you'll like best. Now, the next pepper I got was the Tunisian bakludi. Look at how huge those are. Plus, they're really cool looking. So these are from the Barbary Coast, large red tapering pods with a wonderful hot flavor, but they get milder with cooking. So lots of color, lots of flavor. And this one, the West Indies red habanero. Scorching hot habanero from the Caribbean. Dependable and productive. I like that. I like dependable. I like productive. Now, this blazing fruit is considered a must-have in Caribbean kitchen gardens, rightfully so. The fiery pods are a staple in Jamaican jerk and Caribbean hot sauces. So I will be using this one in a version of my salsa that is hot. I do have a couple of kids who love it hot. So when they come at Thanksgiving or Christmas, they can enjoy the hot version. Then I've got the habanada, because look at that. Look at that. And there they're showing you the variety of ripeness and color. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? The habanada pepper has all the fruity floral notes of the habanero, but without the heat. Stunning tangerine color. Oh, I agree. Now, I did get a couple of old favorites. We all love the Cubanelle, right? Humongous, productive, dependable. Yeah, I can always count on Cubanelles to do well, even if none of the other peppers are doing well. All right, this is one that's I keep trying with, Jimmy Nardello, and I did better last year than years past. I grow this because one of my kids loves Jimmy Nardello peppers. Yeah, they used to buy them all the time at the farmer's market, and I was like, well, I'll just grow them for you. And for some reason, this pepper is hard for me to get productive, but I'm going to keep trying. If any of you have tips on Jimmy Nardello peppers that, you know, some reason they grow a little differently than other peppers, please let me know what the trick is. Now, I found one other pepper that I just never knew about before. I'm a little embarrassed to admit that. Probably other people knew about it, but the paprika pepper. I did not know paprika came from peppers. And I use paprika in cooking, and one of my daughters loves to use paprika in their cooking. They do a lot of Indian cooking and other kinds of cooking that requires paprika. This is a very rare 1800s drying pepper coming from Hungary. The medium hot paprikas have great flavor, terrific for drying and making delicious traditional Hungarian paprika. So we are definitely going to have fun trying out that one. I got 3 other things from Baker's Creek. I'm going to try Richmond green apple cucumber. It sounded interesting and some people recommended it to me, but since I ordered it, I've had a few people tell me, oh no, it's really bland. You don't want to grow that. I'm thinking, though, that maybe they said it was bland because it had been overwatered. I know that I've had that issue with cucumbers before. If I overwater them, especially if they're in a container, they do get bland. Anybody have any experience with the Richmond green apple cucumbers? My favorite cucumber, the only one I really grow anymore, is Armenian cucumbers, but I really wanted to branch out and try something a little different. Now, lastly, I want to share with you 2 tomatoes I got. Basically, what I grow for tomatoes are cherry tomatoes. The Sun Golds are my absolute favorite, and Chubbuck cherries are good, and Sweet 100s also. I love the flavors of all of those, but especially the Sun Golds. And now that I know I can use them green for salsa, oh my gosh, I'm so elated. But I found another cherry tomato I'm going to be trying this year, the Evil Olive tomato. First of all, wow, glorious color. Absolutely love it. Secondly, the Evil Olive. I mean, I kind of have to grow that since this is Olive City Homestead, right? Yeah, I kind of have to. What does it say about this one? 75 days, a trifecta of marbled colors, ripens slowly, starts out olive green, lightens up with red streaks when ripe, insanely productive, one of the longest keepers. Over a dozen fruits per cluster. Plum-sized fruit, that's pretty big. Did you hear that? Insanely productive? Okay, gorgeous and insanely productive. Now you know why I ordered that. Can't wait to try it out. And then lastly, this one. Now, I have not grown large tomatoes for a long time, but this bread and salt tomato just drew me in, partially because of the name. I love fresh tomatoes ripe off the vine, cut them open, and put salt on them. Oh my gosh, do I love that. So yeah, the title kind of attracted me. And then I read 80 days, delectable, meaty, oxheart type, large round orb, dense meaty flesh, exquisite for slicing, sauce making, and everything in between. All right, you know what? I'm going to try again. I haven't had much luck with big tomatoes in the past, which is one of the reasons I stopped trying to grow them. Cherry tomatoes don't attract any hornworms, at least they haven't for me. And cherry tomatoes are so productive and they ripen so quickly, whereas big tomatoes take forever to ripen and they don't produce very many, and they attract the hornworms. Now, over the last few years, I've attracted a lot more birds into my garden. So if hornworms do show up, I'm hoping the birds will take care of them for me. If not, I'll have to be brave, grab some gloves, and get them off and throw them to the chickens. Now let's take a look at the other order I got. Now, this is one of the companies I hadn't ordered from before, Eden Brothers in North Carolina. I only got a few things from them. Let's take a look and see what they are. Well, first up is Perea or shiso seeds. Now, I never heard of this before, but apparently it is an herb that has a basil-like minty flavor with notes of cumin and citrus. So the leaves are green and then turning red. I am totally experimenting with this, but it sounded really good, and I'm all about perennial herbs, so we're going to give this a shot. Then also I got some early giant leek seeds. Now, I grew leeks this past year for the first time, just sort of a few to see how it would go, because in the past it hasn't gone well at all. But I discovered where they like to grow on my property. The microclimate they like is definitely afternoon shade. You can even see here they grow well in partial sun. Well, where I live, they really need partial sun because it's so hot and dry here. Now, it says here, if you live in zone 7 or warmer, which is definitely me here, to plant your leek seeds in the fall. Oh, so I didn't catch that one. Guess I'll be waiting till fall to plant these. If you're in zone 6 or cooler, though, you can plant them now in the spring. Well, they're hardy down, it says, to 5 degrees Fahrenheit, so great option for those of you in colder climates. I really do want to get into leeks. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try this out in the fall. All right, we come to the last thing I got from Eden Brothers, which I'm super excited about, guys. Look at this, caper seeds. So I didn't even know that capers were a plant until a few years ago. Yep, I'm admitting it. I never had them growing up. And when I read about them in books, I guess they were in meals that featured fish because I always associated the word capers in my mind with fish. I don't know if I thought they were fish eggs or I don't know what I thought, but I did not think they were a plant. So lo and behold, a few years ago, I was at a restaurant and I discovered what capers were. Those little round balls on top of the chicken. I absolutely loved their flavor and I started cooking with them. And then that led me to researching, well, can I actually grow these things? And yes, I can. Now, capers, I've discovered through more research on YouTube, they like to grow in rocky, sandy areas with not much water at all, really. They like a lot of heat, which I can provide them with. And then the capers themselves are the little flower buds. Well, I am really looking forward to seeing if I can manage this one. I will be trying repeatedly if it doesn't succeed this first year, but I'm going to be hopeful because I think I really do have the right environment to grow these. And the more things that I can grow myself that I use regularly to cook with or that I want to use, like capers, well, the better, right?
So those were all the seeds that I ordered this year or that I found at that nursery back in December, except for one order I have out still to in my gardener that I just got notice it's on the way here. And also I picked up a couple of packets of seeds for $1 at the dollar store the other day. And I'm going to be doing a video about the finds I made at the dollar store because I found some really cool things that I'm really excited to use in the garden. And I want you guys to know about it in case you have access to a dollar store. You can go see if they've got them in your local store and give it a try yourself. And then the In My Gardener seeds, well, that's a secret. Definitely doing a video on that as soon as they get here because I'm really excited about especially one thing I ordered from them. Now, I promised you I'd share with you a few seed catalogs that you might not have heard about that I think you should know about. Here's the first one. It's called Seed Savers Exchange. Now, this is an absolutely beautiful catalog, and you can go online and request it for free at the Seed Savers website. And the inside of this catalog is amazing. It has so many glorious pictures. It has so many varieties. It has helpful tips about how to grow certain things. It has fun little factoids, a bit of interesting agricultural history, stories about how they develop certain varieties of plants, and recipes. I really don't think you'll be disappointed with what you're going to find in this catalog, as well as what you can order from them, including flowers. Lots and lots of gorgeous flowers. So definitely go ahead and get yourself over to Seed Savers Exchange website and request this catalog. Now, Annie's Annuals and Perennials is a wonderful catalog. It's a great nursery, too. I happen to live about 2 hours away from it, and I love going there a few times a year. I get all sorts of ideas. Now, they have mostly flowers. And the thing about their catalog, it's the same with their nursery, is that you will get sucked in. Every single plant has a very interesting, often amusing, and always useful write-up. And even at the nursery, they have little signs by every plant that has the same write-up as you'll see in the catalog. So really, the catalog does give you a similar experience to walking through their nursery. So you can go to anniesannuals.com and get a free catalog, and they ship anywhere in the country, even though they're here in California. Even if you don't order anything from them, I guarantee you're going to get ideas. Now, here is another catalog you should definitely get. And for a long time, I thought Annie's Heirloom Seeds was connected to Annie's Annuals and Perennials, but they're not. They're totally separate. Annie's Heirloom Seeds is, I think it's in like Wisconsin. Yep, Wisconsin. And they are definitely a catalog worth getting. One thing I've noticed about their seeds is that they're extremely competitive cost-wise. Plus, they have so much variety in what they carry. They have more grain varieties than I've seen elsewhere. There are gardening tips scattered throughout the catalog. Now, Annie's Heirloom Seeds are mostly veggies, although they do have herbs and a few flowers this year, too. So a very nice family-owned seed business that you should try out. So go to their website, and that's at anniesheirloomseeds.com, and request your free catalog today. Well, I can't let you go without drawing to your attention my favorite place to order fruit trees, as well as nut trees and fruiting vines and fruiting bushes. And that is Burnt Ridge Nursery in Washington here on the West Coast. Now, they ship all over the place, so don't let that hold you back. And their catalog, as you can see, is just print. There's no pictures in it. But definitely don't let that stop you from ordering from them. Their descriptions of each of the trees and bushes and such are very thorough and will really give you an idea on how well such a plant will do where you live. And they offer such a variety of trees and other bushes and vines and such that I've not found anywhere else. I can't imagine trying to grow some of the stuff I do without having found them. They also offer ornamental trees of all kinds, just a wide variety of stuff you've got to investigate, especially if you're trying to grow perennial fruits and nuts on your property like I am here. And of course, you can always go online if you must see what it looks like, which I suggest you do if you don't already know. But yeah, don't let it stop you that their catalog is just print. Go to their website and also their YouTube channel. The owner of the nursery has his own little YouTube channel. It doesn't have a big following yet, but what he offers on there are practical tips on growing these trees, and also, he describes some of the varieties they sell and why you might want to grow them too. So definitely check out Burnt Ridge Nursery. So thank you for joining me today for this seed haul, and I hope that you found something maybe that you hadn't seen before, something that you want to give a try as well. And remember, I'm going to be bringing you that mystery seed that I'm going to be getting from MI Gardener any day now in one of my upcoming videos and challenging you to participate in that experiment with me. I think you will really find it a fun idea, and I'm hoping a lot of you will join in. Meanwhile, until then, have a great week. Enjoy your seed buying and your seed starting. And remember, you can create the garden and the life that you want. So why not start right now? See you next time, folks.